The 2025 NFL season is here. Football is finally back, and the New York Jets are set to host the Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday in their Week 1 clash. I'll be breaking it all down, but before we do that, welcome back to the Turn Up the Jets YouTube channel. As always, Joe Scurto, your host. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Appreciate all the support. Like the video if you've actually liked it. You could also follow me on social media platforms, such as on X and Instagram at Turn Up the Jets, all one word. Yes, a lot of storylines heading into this one. We've been talking about it for months. Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to New York or New Jersey to face off against Justin Fields and the New York Jets. It marks the first time in NFL history that a Week 1 matchup features two quarterbacks that have essentially switched teams. The NFL is drooling about this matchup. It probably would have been a primetime game if it hadn't been for Aaron Rodgers taking a little more time since the schedule came out in May. He didn't make his decision. I think it was around June or July. I honestly don't remember. I think it was around June, whatever. Does it really matter? But I'll be breaking down this matchup, the keys of the Jets victory here, and I will be making a prediction. I said to myself I wasn't going to make predictions this year, but like, what is the fun of that in a preview? You have to at least make the prediction and, take it off the chin. I will say the New York Jets right now are 2.5-point underdogs, according to FanDuel and DraftKings. That line did move down. It was 3.5. I think it's going to move back up with AVT's injury. This is being recorded on Thursday. It's going to be released on Friday, so I won't have the final injury reports, but I figured because I'll be traveling, I'm actually leaving today to head to New Jersey, so I wanted to get this video out. Let's break down the injury report as of right now. This was as reported yesterday. I don't think a lot of things are particularly going to change here. Let's look for the Jets side of things. Chukwuma Okafor, he did not practice on Wednesday. He's battling a hand injury. I'm interested to see if he's going to be a go. The Jets are going to need all the depth on the offensive line that they can get. Of course, Elijah Vera Tucker, we've talked about it numerous times now. Tricep, he is out for the entire year. He will be getting surgery. Sauce Gardner was limited. Tyrod limited. They're all expected to play. And it's interesting, John Simpson, who's been kind of battling injuries in and out throughout training camp, he's not even on this injury report. So that's a great sign because the Jets, as mentioned, need all the depth on the offensive line, especially going against this ferocious Steelers front. For the Steelers, it's Derek Harmon, a defensive tackle. That's huge. I mean, he might not play. He's been battling a knee injury. It looks like they could be without him. Don't quote me on that, but he did not practice. So there's a very good chance that he does not play on Sunday. I know they've been worried about that. Cornerback Corey Trice did not practice, and then Nick Herbig is limited at linebacker, so he probably will most likely play. There's not a ton of injuries here other than AVT and Harmon, the rookie that they drafted. Harmon's probably not going to play. AVT's probably going to play. I would probably expect everyone else on this list to play. Again, this is being recorded on Thursday, so a lot of things can change. So just take the injury report with a grain of salt. Let's get into, just obviously it's the storyline here. It's Aaron Rodgers, right? 2 years ago, I made a video, also was going to the game against the Buffalo Bills Monday night. Very excited. It's a new era of Jets football. They finally have hope. Can they end the drought? People were talking Super Bowl. We hadn't heard that word in years, and it ended in 4 plays. The following year, we knew what happened. I don't need to get into it. Rodgers allegedly wanted to come back and was interested in coming back with the Jets despite having a new regime under Aaron Glenn. And then we know what happens as well. Aaron Glenn tells him we're moving on. Rodgers goes on McAfee and complains about it, kind of disrespects Glenn, but also said Glenn disrespected him. I can't really imagine there's a good energy between those two. So Rodgers is going to want to come in and beat the Jets, vice versa. Both guys have basically just elected not to really quote on this game and really mark it as a big game. They just said, hey, it's the first game of many. It's the next game. They dodged the questions regarding each other, but there's bad blood here. And between Glenn and Rodgers, I'm saying. Between Rodgers and the Jets fans, it's a little different. A lot of Jets fans are on the narrative of, hey, F Aaron Rodgers. The other ones are like, why? He chose to come here. Nobody ever chooses to come here. He wanted to win. Guess what? It didn't work out. He got injured. We never know what that season would have entailed. It looked like an electric start with Breece Hall getting a big gain. They had all the energy. They forced the Bills to 3-and-out, and then he gets hurt in 4 plays. So nobody in this earth will ever know what 2023 would have been for the Jets, who ended up going 7-10 with Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle and Chris Streveler and, you name it. It's just was absolutely disgusting how poorly the quarterback play was. The defense was really good that year. That's why you think, hey, if Rodgers was on this team, would things have changed in 2023? We never know. So like the Jets fan narrative of Rodgers is very split down the middle. I think it's going to be half boos. It's going to be half cheers. I also think there's going to be a lot of Steelers fans. I know Rich Cimini said, according to Vivid Seats, 48% are expected to be Steelers fans. I think that number is super high, but this is a loyal fan base. So I don't know. It could be a split crowd in MetLife on Sunday, but I just hope the Jets fans show up. Like, yes, this is not a season that we're excited about, right? It's not as exciting as it was the last 2 years because you knew that you had a shot and you had Aaron Rodgers and that gave you hope. But, at the end of the day, they didn't have the coaching staff and they clearly didn't have the depth in the roster that everyone thought they had in terms of being a legitimate playoff Super Bowl contender. 5-12, 7-10. It was a miss. It was a bust of a trade. It was a bust of a move. And it was just wasted. Those 2 years, I think, wasted 10 years off of every Jet fan's life. So with Rodgers, like, I don't have any ill will against the guy, but do I want to go in and smoke him? Yes, absolutely. Like, there's nothing more than I want than them beating Rodgers, because it would be the worst thing ever to have his little smirk on his face after the game beating the Jets. And it would just continue to create that narrative that these things only happen to the Jets. And we've already started with AVT getting hurt. So the narrative is already against us. Our backs are against the wall. So yes, I want to go out and crush Aaron Rodgers. And my first key to victory is pressure Aaron Rodgers. You have to make him feel super uncomfortable in the pocket. Last year, we knew it took a while for him to really gain his mobility back. He did at the end of the year, but the offense they were running, I mentioned it yesterday in my video, like it was a backyard football offense. It wasn't a legitimate scheme. So I'm interested to see what he does in the Arthur Smith scheme. And Arthur Smith is very run heavy. Rodgers attempted, I think, top 5, maybe top 3, the most passes in the NFL last year. Like, there were games that he had 40 plus passing attempts. It seems like every time there was a run play, he got out of it. He audibled out of it and threw it. There was a reason why Breece Hall didn't have 20 carries in a single game last year. Aaron Rodgers doesn't like to run. So he's going to throw plenty. In the Jets front 4, I feel very confident in, even though Jermaine Johnson, I can't really imagine that he plays more than 25 snaps. Could be wrong, but I think they're going to ease him into this thing, as they should. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So with those 4, though, McDonald going against Broderick Jones, probably the most fascinating matchup. A couple years ago, the Jets had their eyes on Broderick Jones, and the Patriots were picked. Patriots were right in front of the Jets, and they didn't need Broderick Jones. So they swapped with the Steelers. The Steelers came up, took Broderick Jones away from the Jets. And who did the Jets draft? They drafted Will McDonald out of Iowa State. These two will be going at it. And this is a Steelers offensive line that has a lot of question marks. It is a inexperienced unit. The Steelers really aren't known to have really good offensive lines. And some people do have expectations that it's going to be much better this year. But it starts with McDonald against Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones has shown many flaws throughout his career in the first couple seasons. So get after the quarterback and make him feel uncomfortable. Because guess what? He can't escape the pocket. It takes one big hit on Rodgers for him to be affected for the entirety of the game. We saw it last year. We saw it in Minnesota. We saw it in Denver. We saw plenty of times that when he gets beat and he takes even just one big blow, it's going to affect him for the rest of the game. This guy is 41 years old. Yes, he still has unbelievable arm talent. He's probably still going to be the smartest guy on the field, but he's 41 years old. So get after Aaron Rodgers, make him feel uncomfortable, and let's see some blitzes, huh? Albrecht and Saleh hated the word blitz. And when we saw that there were safety blitzes and linebacker blitzes just in that glimpse of preseason, it was just beautiful, right? It was music to our ears, or music to our eyes, really, because what we were seeing was the Jets being aggressive and blitzing under Wilks and Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn always is known to have aggressive blitzing defenses as well as Wilks. So now they're going to mesh it together. You're going to see blitzes. Let's see a safety blitz. We've never seen the safety blitz. I don't remember the last time I've seen a Jets safety blitz. So give him different looks. Don't let him beat you with his knowledge, because he can do that. And he is very good at setting up players to the best of that specific play, audibling out of plays when he sees a specific defense. This guy's seen every defense in the entire world. So mix things up, put pressure on him, and just make him feel uncomfortable, right? The pass rush is so key here in this game. They need to stop Rodgers. Let them beat you in the run. You know, I know the Jets' flaw last year was they couldn't stop the run. I feel more confident now. You have Harrison Phillips and you have Quinnen Williams. You know, don't let Rodgers beat you. That's all I have to say. No Jets fan wants that. Key number 2, it's going to be start with the run game, right? I mean, that's the obvious one. I didn't want to put that at 1 because it's so obvious that the Jets need to establish this running game early and often to help set Justin Fields up for a play action or even designed runs or RPOs or whatever it is. You need to start the game with the run. It's simple. Ground and pound early on. Take the pressure off your quarterback. It sucks your best run blocker is out. Nothing we can do about that now. But this is a good Steelers defensive front. But you just got to do it. You have to. That's your strength. You have 4 runners. You have Fields, you have Breece, you have Braylon Allen, you have Isaiah Davis. Give them different looks. Get more of change of pace. All those guys are different type of runners, which could be an advantage for the Jets. So you got to establish the run. It's going to open up your whole offense. It can really start out by, helping your RPO and helping your play action game, and even setting up creative plays that we haven't seen, or screen passes or anything. Because if you can create the run and establish the run, that way it could set you up for more success of involving number 5, who is by far the best player on the offense, of Garrett Wilson. So with the Jets, that also means you keep the offense off the field. You keep the defense fresh. If the defense is going to be fresh, they're going to have a good day against Rodgers. I know they are. I know it'd be classic if Rodgers goes and throws 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I just don't see it. And if it happened, would I be surprised? No, because we cheer for this franchise. But as a football fan, if I was trying to put all bias aside, just what I saw last year, watching every second and every snap of Aaron Rodgers, I can't imagine him against this defense is going to go in and throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. It would be classic, but I don't see it. So if you keep this defense fresh with the run game and really milking the clock and extending drives, that's huge. The Jets want 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. That's what their running game has to do. They don't want him 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Because that way you're putting Justin Fields in a very bad spot. So that is a huge key for me. And key number 3, I went back and forth on this one. And I think there's a lot of different ones we can go. But just of looking, I'm going back to the Jets defense, looking of what the Jets defense was the last couple of years. Last year, we know 2 years ago, the 2 years prior to that, both of those years in 22 and 23, really good. But what did they not do other than blitzing? They didn't turn the ball over, win the turnover battle, pick Aaron Rodgers off once or twice, force a fumble, give Justin Fields in the offense a short field. Do whatever you can do to put the pressure off the offense. That's what you got to do, because we don't know what this offense is going to look like. They have a lot of the same players as last year on this defense. We know what it can look like. It didn't look like that in 2024, but we know what it can and what it should look like. But they never really turned over the ball. And I feel like if you can get Rodgers uncomfortable, blitzing him, it can set up success for them by forcing him to make a mistake. So when the turnover battle is huge, I think Justin Fields, hey, take care of the ball, run when you can, play your game, operate the offense, and score as many points as possible. And if you get short fields from an interception or a fumble, great. That's going to help a ton. And you know what? That's going to give them the momentum because they're at home. I don't care how many damn Steelers fans they're going to be. There's going to be a lot of Jets fans there too. Like when I was there, when they played the Bills on Monday night, there was a lot of Bills fans too, but there were a lot of Jets fans. And I expect Jets fans to be here, pumped, affect the crowd, and affect the atmosphere. So I really do think if you can pressure Rodgers, establish the run, win the turnover battle, that's really what you got to do to win this game. And it's going to be an uphill battle. Like this is a tough week 1 matchup. And you put Rodgers in that storyline away. This team was still a playoff team last year with Russell Wilson. Yeah, I know they can't get past the first round, I think since 2016. But this dude, Mike Tomlin, 18 years of winning records. He wins. He might not get to the big one as much as people expect, but he wins. And he does it. And he knows how to establish a game plan. He knows how to get his guys ready, and they're going to be ready to play. No doubt about it. I don't care how many new faces there are, and there are a lot, especially on defense with Slay and Ramsey. You know, they're still going to be prepared and be ready to play because this is always a tough football team. It's a tough game. Like this is a tough week 1 matchup. So I'm not expecting anything easy. So those are my 3 keys to victory here. Lastly, a prediction. And the Jets are -2.5 dogs. I really didn't want to make a prediction. And I'm trying to not be biased, but it's hard to. I'm going to the game. I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to take them 20-16. And we'll see. We all know I have the Jets at 6-11, 7-10. That was kind of the record I've been teetering around. They have to win this game. Like this is such a winnable game. Out of the first 3, it's a challenging game. It's winnable, though. So can the Jets just like, this is just me thinking as a delusional fan now. Can we stop the narrative, the same old Jet shit? Can Aaron Glenn be the guy to get these guys prepared and actually show what good coaching looks like? That's the question. There's so many question marks for the Jets, but hey, there's so many question marks for the Steelers too. A lot of new players, a struggling offensive line, a 41-year-old quarterback. We'll see. You know, there's a reason why this game is so close in terms of a spread. Vegas always knows. So I'm going Jets 20-16. Steelers fans, you can hate me. You should. This is a homer pick, but I just feel like week 1, you have to take them. You have to take them. I would feel gross if I went to the game knowing, hey, I have the Steelers winning this game. Am I less confident? Yeah, I'm less confident without AVT, absolutely. But I just feel like this is a winnable game, and this team has to prove something. Like first 3 weeks, you need to at least win 1 game. Like you cannot go 0-2 going into Tampa Bay. You can't, because it's going to just speak a disaster. And then people, if you go 0-3, you're talking about 0-4 maybe with Miami, and then you're talking about the number 1 overall pick. I just don't see that happening. I don't see the Jets having the worst record of the league. I think they're going to be competitive. I just think based off the coaching staff. Whether Aaron Glenn ends up being a great coach or not, I think he's going to at least have these guys prepared. Hopefully, and another honorable mention key, no stupid penalties. No stupid penalties. And that's a thing that they haven't been. They haven't been disciplined on defense. They haven't even been disciplined on offense, obviously. You know, the stupid, undisciplined penalties have cost them so many games, especially last year down the stretch when they blew all those leads in the fourth quarter. So be disciplined as well. Well, everybody, appreciate you watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you've actually liked it. You could also follow me on social media platforms such as X and on Instagram at TurnUpTheJets, all one word. As I said, I am traveling, so I probably won't get the recap out till Tuesday. I'm flying in, I think, mid-Monday. It's really going to depend on the outcome of the game. If the Jets win, I might force myself to do a recap on Monday. If the Jets lose, I could probably wait till Tuesday morning. But appreciate everybody. Let's go. Let's go, Jets. Week 1, Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets at 1 o'clock. CBS, Ian Eagle, and JJ Watt have the call. Cannot wait. Football is back. Until next time, see